Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online, which has been a little bit less, honestly. I think that I had some pretty intense sessions, just getting my 900 points for the Winter Nexus. And I guess that there's a little bit of balance to be had there. Honestly, work is a part of it as well. I have to work all the time through the holidays. So last week, next week, it's all every single weekday is a work day there. But overall, I'm still definitely playing the game a little bit every single day, and last week was mostly focused on doing a little bit of mining. I made a video about mining in the Mackinaw. Well, honestly, I feel relatively safe. I mean, it is Iona, a 0.8 system, so you do have a pretty fast Concord response in there. There's plenty of belts as well, so just make sure that you don't keep warping to the same spot again and again, and that makes it a little bit harder to track your movements as well. But yes, it is not very rewarding, of course. A full cargo hold is like 4 to 5 million if you're like lucky, and it can take over 20 minutes to completely fill your cargo hold, especially in some of the belts that have changed. So this is a little bit, I still don't fully understand how it works, but some belts, you know, I still warp in the right spot and they still have that, you know, semicircle type of look that's pretty easy to mine and to keep progressing in. But others have like a way more spread out, lots of big rocks, but very far away from each other. And that just takes even more work to just get those prime spots where you can do a decent amount of mining. So it's definitely interesting. It's a switch to a more active mining playstyle, I would honestly say as well, combining mostly, of course, your mining lasers. Then with the drones, you know, there's probably an optimal way to do all of this, but for a solo player, it takes way more effort than putting down the Orca, dropping your drones, targeting some asteroids that are very close to you, and then just letting them do all of the work with minimal travel time. That was just so super smooth, super easy as well. Took them quite a little bit of time for an individual drone to completely empty out an asteroid as well. So it is a very big change, but that's going to be part of it as well for me. I am going to try and make a solo mining fit for an Orca, basically try and push as much out of that as is possible, but my expectation honestly is that it's just going to turn out to be easier than to mine in the Mackinaw, and then just use your Orca for compression and whatever else perhaps CCP decides to give them early next year. We also, I think, still have a little bit of time before the course becomes somewhat affordable, you know, somewhat normalized in price. So that's something that I am looking forward to, but I feel like it's doable mining solo in the Mackinaw, and I don't feel that pressure to make it work with the Orca. I'll give it a go, but if it's not satisfactory, we'll just you know, prepare a Mac everywhere, and then we'll change the Orca to be more of a base of operations, maybe a transport ship with that compression capabilities. Of course, it is meant to be a boosting ship, so not really for solo players. But there we go, those are the plans when it comes to mining. BPCs we've been trying to sell, still not going all that well, and actually it's today, later today, that my BPC research is lapsed, so for next week I'll probably set up a new batch, but I think I don't have enough contract slots that I filled, so we'll see. Perhaps I'll add in some other researches there as well. And then finally, of course, we also had that video a couple weeks ago for the with our metrics, and for me that does mean that I'm sort of trying to plan for next year to get a nice running start, to try and make like a dent in some of the metrics that I think we could do better in without too much efforts. And yeah, let's try to keep that one on the radar. It would be nice to get some more top 10s, top 10% or something like that when it comes to the metrics for the video for 2022. And then in general, when it comes to EVE Online, yeah, I'll be honest, I've said that in quite a few videos now, but I'm not expecting too much in the first 3-4 months of 2022 when it comes to development and news and things like that. It is going to be the first FanFest in a while, and I do think that CCP wants to try to create a little bit of hype there. So that's my horizon. Up until then, I'm just gonna try to go with the flow and do what I enjoy without necessarily grinding out massive goals or anything like that. This brings me to game number 2, which is the Elder Scrolls Online. Yes, it's another MMO, and I have always said that combining 2 MMOs is basically a little bit too much for me. But I'll be honest, the Elder Scrolls Online is a little bit different, because the way I play the game is, again, more as a solo player, but mostly also just to experience the story, do a couple of quests, maybe add in a couple of dungeons, which in ESO are very solo friendly. So I've managed to do some of those. Are they like delves or something like that? And then you also have public dungeons, which are perfectly soloable, at least when you get a companion. So that's been going really well. I have been enjoying the game there. I also made quite a few videos on it, and they've basically been planned as like the transition from 2021 to 2022 to give me a little bit of time there as well. And I did make a mistake, which was to not take a quick look on Google how you get the companions, and so I had convinced myself that playing through the main quest line for Blackwood, the latest expansion, was the way to get to the companions, but that's not how it works. And I found that out after I completed the main quest line. So in some of those recordings, if you guys watch that series, you will notice that I quite often speculate on, alright, so this could be the way towards the companions, or this could be an indication that we're heading towards the companions. I was completely wrong on that, and it's only after quite a few videos that I realized maybe I should quickly Google it, and it's just basically a medium-sized side quest that you could do at any time. That's also very close to the start in Blackwood for at least one companion. That will allow you to grab that one way more quickly than what I did in my playthrough of Blackwood. But I don't actually regret it. Took a little bit of effort then to get through the main storyline. Playing as a warden, the bear is not a great tank, so I had to figure stuff out a little bit once again, now revisiting the Elder Scrolls Online. But I managed to make my way through all of that, and then basically it opened everything up again by grabbing a companion and experiencing the game with it, which for me personally is a massive boost in enjoyment. It is a lot of fun to decide what type of companion do I want, right? You can make him a mage, a healer, a tank, which is the route that I went, because the bear basically initiates a little bit at a delay, which is quite annoying. But so I set my bear basically to try and do damage with his extra ability that is upgrade that you can give him, rather than an automatic respawning. And then my companion is my main tank, and so he's got like a stun and a taunt. He goes straight into melee and starts attacking, so he takes the attention and the aggro of the mobs very quickly, which is definitely super cool. So I can then just sit back, do damage, do a little bit of AoE healing. It's super fun, and it reminded me a lot of Dragon Age Origins. One of those, to me, one of those experiences that when you do it the first time, and when you really get into it and understand it for the first time, you'll never forget it, which was that you have 3 companions there, I think at the max, but in fact your own character, you can fully basically program them in the game to decide how they should behave, depending on certain triggers, like, alright, heal at 50%, heal at that type of percent, use pots, don't use pots, focus on using that spell first. And that was just so much fun, and I definitely got that back when it comes to the companion in the Elder Scrolls Online. And so for me, that has been so far a really awesome experience. I'm stuck again in that same thing, that I'm not playing the game as an MMO. I'm like level 20-ish at this point, and I don't feel like, alright, I want to do a huge amount of grinding or anything like that, but that casual way of experiencing the game, getting into the story and having having fun with it has just been elevated by basically now having my own small party with my companion that's basically a tank, and then my bear that just jumps in there as well, does stunts, does lots of stuff, and I can just sit back and be like the commander of the party. Alright, you need some healing, I can do a little bit of damage. It's super fun. I'm hoping to still get a couple of levels and things like that so that I can give him maybe more buffs, but overall that has been a very fun experience. And the fact that ESO is not necessarily a subscription game, you can definitely just buy to play it as well. For me, it you know, scratched that itch to take a look at it, and the companion system for me personally is really great in the game. I did also quickly want to mention that right now there is a pretty cool event happening in Path of Exile as well, a sort of an invasion event where every map has like you know, half a dozen bosses potentially for you to go up against. You know, it's raining uniques in there. That's definitely pretty fun as well, and I might just spend the next week in that event rather than in ESO, but it's definitely another game that I'm keeping on my radar. I'm looking forward to whatever they develop next, and now I also do feel like I've got a character that you know, I'm willing to stick with for like the longer haul, because I've got my cool companion. It is a warden, it's a playstyle that I'm enjoying. So yeah, a pretty good week, I would say. Not that much when it comes to EVE Online, but I'm definitely enjoying the Elder Scrolls Online. And that's it for this Sunday recap. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you next time.